Welcome fellow adventurer and dungeon master to a new edition of Character Concept for You, where I create level 1 characters for you to use as either heroes or NPCs. Feel free to change them in any way you like or create your own hero with the build you see before you. My name is Model 42 and today I want to tell you about High Priestess Rhea, a more mature but also seductive character that can fill out multiple roles in a party of heroes or function as an amazing NPC to interact with. Let us look at this human Aasimar, cleric of the goddess Calistria. As with most spellcasters, Rhea does not have a class DC, but will get spell casting features later on. She is of average strength and agility, her age showing a little bit, though she is still very healthy, quite intelligent, but more importantly a very wise and charming woman with a true beauty that is hidden behind a dominating facade that still captivates the heart of many who look upon her. She is amazingly talented in terms of medicine and religion, also being almost as good in deception, diplomacy and performance, with a focus on the arts of intimacy and seduction, and has some more skills where she is at least decent in, with the rest being almost useless. Her fortitude and reflexes are, because of her starting age, not as good, though her willpower will most likely be unmatched in your party, showing her wisdom and intimidating prowess, which also makes her quite perceptive, also seeing very well in dim light, which shows that her eyes still work amazingly well. She moves with a normal speed of 25 feet, has 17 hit points which is decent for a cleric, and is fluent in 5 languages, Common, which is her mother tongue, Celestial, which she knows since she is the descendant of an angel of Calistria, Hallett and Kellish, the dominant languages in her community, and even Elven, since a lot of elves can be found in the domain of her goddess. Her combat stats are quite unimpressive, with a disappointing armor class of 13, and 3 weapons giving her at least a lot of versatility in damage types, though the whip, which is the favored weapon of her goddess, is always a useful weapon, and a dagger is useful if you get munched down by a big enemy. Her staff is more for show and prestige, but can also be used as a weapon. Rhea does not get anything from being a human and only receives low light vision from being an Aasimar, though her first ancestry feat, Angel Kin, is very good, being a lineage that she has to take now or never, making her trained in society and granting her potentially 7 languages, 3 of them right now, one of them being Celestial. As an acolyte of Calistria she gains the skill feat, Student of the Canon, which helps her getting most things about other religions right, and pretty much everything about her own. As a High Priestess, that would make sense. She gains the feature to cast divine spells, with everything that belongs to it. No need to waste much time on this then, and because of the feature, Divine Font, she chose the Helm spell as her main spell, which she can cast an additional 4 times per day, even when not preparing the spell otherwise, also heightening it to the highest possible spell level, and in the later stages, as her charisma goes up, so does the amount of casts per day. Great stuff. She also has chosen the Doctrine, Cloistered Cleric, giving her a bonus on level 1, 3, 7, 11, 15 and 19, starting with Domain Initiate, which gives her a focus pool of 1 and a spell determined by her domain, which she chose Passion for, one of the 4 used by Calistria. All in all, a lot of features for a class that many consider blank, but I think it all depends on your flavor, creativity and will of going the extra mile in making the character unique, memorable and awesome. She gains the 3 actions all spellcasters use, so we do not talk about that, but since I had no space on my character sheet for some extra stuff, this is where I put her edicts and anathemas, which every cleric has to keep and abide by, or runs the risk of changing her alignment and potentially losing abilities until repenting. As a devout follower of Calistria, the goddess of lust, revenge and trickery, she has to pursue her personal freedom, seek hedonistic thrills and also take revenge. However, she cannot become too consumed by love or revenge, which means not binding herself to a person because of true love, and she also never lets a slight go unpunished, though she may wait for the right moment. Since she has the highest wisdom for a level 1 character, her spell attack and spell DC are maxed on a +7 and 17 respectively, which is always a great thing for a spellcaster, or any class in general. She has to prepare all her spells during her daily preparations, which means choosing 5 cantrips to cast as often as she likes, and determining spells for her 2 level 1 spell slots. but she can use any divine spell she has access to, which right now is all divine cantrips and all level 1 divine spells. She has a focus pool of 1 because of her doctrine and also, because of her domain, has the spell, Charming Touch, which has a lot of text, but is really cool flavor-wise. With her 1 somatic action required, she touches a humanoid that might find her attractive, and he makes a will save, which will be increased by 4 if the group was hostile against him, making it easier to be safe. On a critical success, he is unaffected and knows about the mind control effect. On a success, he still is unaffected, but thinks you are doing something harmless, like charm or blessing. On a fail, he becomes friendly, or helpful if he already was friendly, and will, for the next 10 minutes, not act hostile against you, unless reason is given. On a critical fail, he will be helpful with the same non-hostile clause. This is amazing and can be dismissed as well, with the target not knowing what happened, unless they did something against their nature or intentions. If heightened to 4th level, starting character level 7, she can charm any type of creature, as long as they find her attractive in any way. So now all your dreams of sleeping with a dragon might come true, you lovable weirdos. Though, who can blame you? This is the goddess Calistria we are talking about. Speaking of useful spells, she has the following go-to cantrips at the ready, and will mostly stick to these, which are Chill Touch, dealing damage and possible enfeebled 1, Divine Lance which deals chaotic damage, 5 to 8 at least at the moment, with the crit doubling that, Light to see more things, no direction to find her way around, and Stabilize to help someone in dying need, literally. She has a ton of level 1 spells to use, but the following are her go-to spells, with Harm being her divine font spell, meaning she can cast it 4 times per day every day as long as she had her daily preparations, and with it deals decent damage against living creatures and can heal undead, or damper heroes. She also sometimes prepares the heal spell, when she knows of incoming danger or needs to help someone in her care, though usually she prepares 1 ray of enfeeblement, which can enfeeble a creature for up to 3, and 1 fear spell, which can frighten creatures and make them fleeing. Both are really helpful and make her an excellent supporter. Rhea is of normal strength, so she can carry up to 5 bulk without penalty up to a maximum of 10, at the moment carrying items of a total bulk of 3 and 2 light. In her burst she still has 27 copper and 11 silver pieces, carrying her ceremonial staff and hiding a whip and a dagger among her luscious and stunning clerical robes in the colors of her goddess and the quality befitting a high priestess. Also having a lot of quite heavy jewelry including a ceremonial helmet and hairdo that resembles a wasp stinger. She also carries with her a backpack, bedroll, belt pouch, flint and steel, a mirror, rations for 1 week, a silver symbol of Calistria as well as a religious text of her, 2 sheaths for her dagger and whip, the latter being a way to hold her in place, 3 pieces of soap, a water skin, a writing set, an ordinary black nightgown, a black raincoat, a black fur coat for winter and a fine seductive dress in black and gold for more romantic occasions. Before we look at her personality, a few stats and facts first. As usual, Rhea is a human with the Aasimar heritage, so you need the DM's permission for her uncommon heritage, having the typical traits human, humanoid and Aasimar. Because of that, she has the background of an acolyte, being a high priestess right now, befitting her role as a medium-sized cleric. She is highly devoted and faithful to the goddess Calistria and is of the same alignment, which is chaotic neutral, meaning that she thinks about herself most of the time and aside from the beliefs of her faith, she does not care much for structure and law and order. She is a Taldan, born in Carpenton and Andorran, and the now 48-year-old woman likes to be called Her Excellency, unless giving her permission for people she finds sympathetic or interesting to call her by name. The still stunningly beautiful woman is 1 meter and 74 centimeters tall, or 5 feet 7 inches, and weighs 59 kilograms, or 130 pounds, still being in perfect shape. She is bisexual through and through, though feel free to change it to anything you like, as long as she stays sexually active, which is one of her edicts. For her personality I chose 2 points from human, 2 from Aasimar, 2 from cleric, and added 4 of my own. Rhea strives to do great things for her goddess, most likely wanting to make her proud and be a shining example of free love, revenge and walking forward. She has no interest in a long relationship, but cherishes her friends very much, trying to keep them close, but not too close, as demonstrated by her robes. She has great taste in fashion and style, though despite her high-class looks, she spends a lot of time at local orphanages, feeling a strong kinship with them, having, in my mind, been an orphan for most of her childhood as well. She has no problems working with others at all, though will not do anything that goes against Callistrius' divine will, being also a faithful pilgrim traveling to other shrines, temples and brothels that honor the wasp goddess. Because of her faith, she tries to inspire lust and passion in all others, not teaching off love and marriage, but the freedom of sexuality, lovemaking and intimacy, sharing a shorter but stronger bond, if even for a single night. Because of her activities she does in the name of Callistria and her status as High Priestess, she spends at least 1 hour each day for vivid and careful hygiene, trying to stay as beautiful and charming as she can possibly be. When people talk to her, they are often intimidated by her strong and powerful voice, which amazingly carries through a whole temple when she preaches, but very shortly are enamored by the sensual passion that sleeps gently between each and every line, making her even more attractive. If you want her complete character sheet, so that you do not need to copy and paste from screen, just hop on over to my Facebook and send me a nice little hello, with the added wish for Rhea. Thank you for sticking with me to the end, and if you like Rhea or just want to help out, leave a like and subscribe for more content and guides. You can also leave a comment of what you think about her or how you would use her in your games. Stay safe my friends, and we will see each other somewhere in Galarian.